Alex was running when he tripped over a scaffold and fell to the ground, losing consciousness. Later, he remembers waking up, getting up, and grabbing a bicycle, even though he hadn't gone to work by bike that day. What he didn't realize was that, in reality, his body remained lying there, lifeless. Hello, I'm Marcus, and it's a pleasure to welcome you here at Life Beyond What We Live. I hope you feel at home and absorb the lesson from this story we're about to tell. By the way, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it's very important to us, helping us bring new and impactful stories to you. Now 35 years old, Alex recalls this experience that occurred when he owned a supermarket undergoing renovations. That day, while organizing the painting outside, a car arrived and someone started shooting. He ran when he heard the shots, but ended up tripping over the scaffold and passed out. Later, he remembers waking up, not knowing how much time had passed, and trying to head home, feeling confused, riding a bicycle, something that didn't make sense since he had driven to work that day. What he didn't realize was that, at that moment, he was already living his near-death experience. One thing he realizes today is that back then, even though he had moved the day before, he returned to his old house. There, after storing the bike, entering, and going up to the second floor, he found his wife, telling her about the shooting at the market and how he had fallen and hurt his knee. It was then that his wife mentioned she had already scheduled an appointment for him to go to the clinic that afternoon. Surprised, Alex questioned why, but she insisted that he should go. From that moment on, his memory began to get fuzzy, and he only recalls walking toward the clinic. Then he crossed a very large door, entering a long, completely white corridor. The environment was silent and empty. As he walked, the feeling of strangeness grew stronger as he moved forward until he reached a counter facing the door in an intensely illuminated room. After that, his memory goes blank. He then woke up in the hospital after 7 days in a coma. Upon regaining consciousness, the first thing he heard was the doctor asking if everything was okay, to which he replied, yes. In the hospital, the doctor asked Alex if he knew where he was, and he confidently answered that he was in a clinic, only to be corrected that, in fact, he was in a hospital. Alex believed he was there because of a knee injury, but the doctor revealed that he had been hospitalized for 7 days. Though he was sure he had walked down that long white corridor just moments before, the reality was quite different. The true version of events, which he later discovered, was much more serious. On the day of the shooting, after running, Alex tripped over the scaffold and fell. While lying on the ground, the shooter approached and shot him in the head. He was hit multiple times, 5 in the back, 1 in the hand, and another in the head. Alex lay on the ground, unable to get up, and was rescued by a man who put him in a car along with other people and took him to the hospital, as the police, arriving quickly, were unable to assist. After the doctor clarified what had really happened, Alex reflected on the experience. He recalled getting up from the ground, walking, grabbing the bicycle, and leaving, but in reality, that marked the beginning of his near-death experience. From that moment on, he was experiencing something beyond the physical. When he described the corridor, Alex explained that everything was intensely bright. Everything was white, clean, and today he recognizes that the large door seemed like a boundary, something he could cross but chose not to. Looking back, he felt relieved about that as he believed he wasn't ready to pass away, feeling he still had things to accomplish in life. During his experience, at no point did he feel that he had been shot, nor did he feel panic, nervousness, or fear. The only feeling he remembers having is that he found the place strange. It was an extremely peaceful environment, with no noise whatsoever. He also didn't have the sensation of looking at his own body on the ground, unlike other people who report near-death experiences. At the moment he got up from the ground after hurting his knee, he felt completely present in space and time. It wasn't a sensation of being in a supernatural place or out of sync with reality. Everything seemed normal to him, even though today he knows the experience didn't match the real events. Alex's experience was described as too perfect when compared to a dream, to the point that at no time did he consider that what was happening could be unreal. The experience made him feel even more faith in God and believe that he had a great purpose in life.